What's going on with CrowdStrike stock? The stock price is up 16.18% so far year to date in 2023 as this cybersecurity company continues growing revenue at a robust pace. So in this video, I'm going to dig through the company's most recent earnings call and see what the CEO and CFO had to say and really go to the source and see what's going on with CrowdStrike stock. So let's get right into it. Here I have pulled up George Kurtz, CEO and co-founder of CrowdStrike, on March 7th, holding the fourth quarter 2023 earnings call, starting out by saying we see a massive opportunity to leverage our AI driven collect data, which we use many times to perform expand share across our market. Of course, artificial intelligence has become a buzzword in recent months ever since ChatGPT launched its service in November. Seems like every company wants to say that they use artificial intelligence or they're capitalizing on artificial intelligence. And it looks like CrowdStrike did not want to be left behind, coming out right away saying that we use AI content. Okay, so the next thing is saying we remain steadfast in our vision to grow ARR to 5 billion by the end of fiscal year 2026. So ARR is annual recurring revenue, and that would be a significant increase, nearly double the pace of where it was in the most recent year in a little under 3 years, 2 years. So that would be robust growth for this company that has, to be honest, the company has been growing revenue and annual recurring revenue robustly over the years, and even in the last quarter it grew revenue very nicely. So at the end of its most recent quarter, ARR grew 48% to reach 2.56 billion. So 48%, very nice growth to reach 2.56 billion. So by the end of 2026, they're going to have it they're expecting this to grow to 5 billion, which would be very nice growth. If they are to achieve that, that's going to be great news for investors because the company's already doing a very good job expanding its cash flow from operations as it's increasing this revenue and annual recurring revenue. So if it continues at that rate of growth, at the rate of its forecast, man, that's going to be really good news for investors. The company added a record 6,694 net new customers for the fiscal year, bringing the total to 23,019 subscription customers. That was a 41% increase. So, again, solid growth. CrowdStrike now serves 556 of the Global 2000, 271 of the Fortune 500, and 15 of the top 20 US banks. Now, this is good evidence of the company's product and service, how highly ranked it is among the best businesses in the world, given that it's capturing such a large share of the best businesses in the world. So that's really good news for investors if you're thinking about what the competitive position is for CrowdStrike. It looks like it's positioned as one of the best cybersecurity companies, one of the best cybersecurity services in existence. And here's what I talked about earlier. The company achieved at least 30% free cash flow margin for the third consecutive year. And yeah, CrowdStrike's been really outstanding in terms of generating turning sales into free cash flow. It's been one of the best in this metric, which is something that I really value highly as an investor. I think of this as a critical metric. And again, management wants to highlight its use of artificial intelligence and how that, it makes them a pioneer applying artificial intelligence in cybersecurity. And I will tell you, I'm getting tired of companies jumping on the AI bandwagon and saying how they were using AI, they are using AI, and just jumping on this popularity of AI to tell investors that look, we're on this AI thing too. We're not behind. We're, on this thing, and it's exhausting when companies just go from the most popular thing at the moment and they want to talk about that, and I find it to be a little bit exhaustive. And going through this, I follow about 100 companies, and going through this earnings season, looking at all of the earnings calls and what management tells investors, and you know too many of those 100 companies are talking about artificial intelligence. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. What the CFO had to say. We're moving on from the CEO's comments, and we're now starting up with the CFO's comments. Starting with the CFO says that for fiscal year 2023, the net retention rates in the three quarters were 127.6% in Q3, the same in Q2, and 125.5% in Q1. So it looks like the net retention rate increased from Q1 to Q2 and stayed elevated in Q3. What this measures is how the spending from customers. So if net retention rate is over 100%, that means existing customers are increasing their spending with CrowdStrike. That's good news, right? So if your existing customers are saying, hey, we want to spend more with you, that demonstrates they're getting a good return on their investment. They like what their money is getting, and they're saying, I want to spend more with you. So that's good news that it's above 100% and it's increasing. The CFO goes on to talk about the employee levels. They're saying that they have 7,000 employees. They hired a lot during 2022 and 2020 in their fiscal 22 and 23. So 7,000 is a lot. That's 46% higher compared to the year before. But at least they're saying that they have enough people to enable their growth for the fiscal year 2024. I am a little concerned that they still plan on hiring people, saying that they expect to significantly moderate the pace of new hires. So that tells me they're still hiring new people. They're not pausing hiring, and they're not laying people off. Many tech companies are laying people off. Although I will admit not very many of those are growing at the rate that CrowdStrike is growing. Obviously, if you're growing as much as CrowdStrike is growing, you need more staff to support that kind of growth. So it's understandable. Although I would have liked to have seen them leverage some of their existing talent to grow revenue instead of needing more talent to support this kind of revenue growth. Although I will give them a pass because they are growing so robustly, and because they are demonstrating they can deliver very good free cash flow margins on their growth. So they're very good at turning sales into free cash flow. So I will give them a pass here because they have earned it. They've earned this ability because they've demonstrated the ability to generate strong free cash flow along with strong revenue growth. So I will end here with the company's guidance. Um, they're saying that it's continued increased budget scrutiny and elongated sales cycles. So if you've been following my videos on this most recent earnings season, you will have heard me say this multiple times now, because this is happening across the industry, where enterprises are now slowing the rate of spending on these solutions like cybersecurity. They're not canceling them. They're not saying, hey, we're going to reduce spending or we're going to cancel this spending. All they're doing is they are increasing the scrutiny. So what that means is, instead of having the sales rep uh, okay the deal to close it, the CFO is saying, before you close the deal, you have to come check with me first. All right, so that's reducing the autonomy the CFO is giving some of his or her departments to close deals. And so if the CFO has to approve it, that means it's going to take longer to get the deal done, right? Because the CFO is going to be busy, may not get to look at the deal, the terms of the deal, and evaluate it until maybe a week later, a couple of weeks later. So what that's done for companies like CrowdStrike is it's made the deals take longer to close. For the full fiscal year 2024, they expect revenue in the range of 2.955 billion to 3.014 billion, reflecting a growth rate of between 32 and 35% year over year. So robust and healthy growth rates for CrowdStrike, and given that they're able to increase cash flow from operations and free cash flow along with this revenue growth, it's looking to be a good year for CrowdStrike investors. So there you have it. I hope this walkthrough of management, CEO, and CFO commentary has has provided you some insight into what's going on with CrowdStrike stock. As always, I truly appreciate your viewership. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. I'm going to add some videos to the end of this one that I think you will enjoy, so please click on one of those, and I'll see you over there.